Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. We're going to do our daily technical analysis of oil and natural gas. Oil started strong, finished weak. And when you finish weak, what you get, and again, guys, it's just my financial opinion. Don't use it as advice. What you get is these wicks at the top. And it wicks at the top, and sometimes that means that the momentum's coming back down, and we may see kind of a bounce back and forth here on the short term. Here's the one year. There's a little wick up there. We're coming down. We may see a little down day, and we'll just keep cycling back and up, back and forth. But it's looking good, and it doesn't mean that we will get that cycle. It just means that that it's a possibility. Remember, we're talking in probabilities, not in outcomes. Natural gas, still up today, 0.62%. Not a bad day today. It's just right at resistance. It's right there trying to break through. Looking at SM Energy, small down day, a little bloody nose, no big deal. We're just waiting for, and we could, do a little bit of a sideways action here before popping higher, putting in that shoulder, that big shoulder of a pattern. Shoulder, head, shoulder, and we're scribing it out and trying to break through. CDAV's doing the same thing. I'm going to focus on the short term. A little bit of a sell-off today. Nothing too big to worry about. We'll see. We'll see. It's just volatility. Crew Energy's right in the channel again. Up day of 2.17%, looking okay. CPE, small little down day. Little bloody nose, kind of, is what we call it. Athabasca tried moving up a little bit, came back down, sold off some. Recaf, little up day. I bet you it's going to bounce. Hopefully we get two small down days or a small down day and then rocket higher at some point. But it's holding on. Getting Nog. Again, small down day. Could be like run into a little bit of selling pressure. This is kind of a bearish, it's almost a bearish piercing, but it's close. We'll see. Which means we have a short-term pullback potentially. Crescent Point leaving the wick at the top. It's probably, they're just sellers up here. We got up here, sold off, coming up, selling off a little bit again. And if we pull back, hopefully we can stay above the support line. GTE also getting the sell-off. Some of these are getting sold off today. That's what it looks like. Backing out. We're just grinding it sideways, bouncing around. Same with Tellurian, grinding it out sideways. Again, guys, we did break this pattern to the downside. But, how strong the overall market is, I'm not really doing anything with my shares. I'm just holding on. Devco's right at the bottom here at its support of this big old pattern. Oasis just grinding sideways. Small down day today. Almost like a bloody nose. Usually a bloody nose is like right here. It doesn't come up and then sell off again. This one's Comstock. Comstock's just grinding sideways. Not much to say there. Sandridge getting a little bit more selling pressure. This is a battle of buyers and sellers going on. Downward, sideways, and we are in an uptrend. Ring Energy, downtrend, sideways, and hopefully we can get some momentum to the upside. We're running into some selling pressure today. Oil flipped on us quite quickly. It was up and then reversed down. So we might see a little bit of momentum to the downside maybe tomorrow. But it's kind of weird how that reversed so quickly. Down, and we're in that sideways motion on Surge Energy. Surge is in the middle or in the bottom of its pattern. I think that one's a decent one to look into. Good fundamentals. Tamarack Valley's looking, it's right at it's right there trying to break out. It's just that resistance right now. Going into the energy service companies, I've added some energy service companies. This is Tetra Technologies. We're getting a little bit, I think we'll see a little bit of a sell-off here in the short term. Whenever you squeeze up like this and then put a bearish engulfing, you'll probably have a couple down days right after it. But overall, we're in a big pattern here, right at the tip. And energy service companies really haven't taken off like some of the exploration companies. So I do think there's some opportunity here for investment. Rig is really cheap. I think that's one that you might want to look into. It's bouncing around. I don't know if I'd buy Seadrill yet. I think it has to go through bankruptcy, but after bankruptcy, it might have some really good opportunity for Seadrill. This one is ProPetro Holdings Corporation. It looks like it's going to go somewhere quick. I would wait for a break and buy on the break. But this could break to the downside. So I'd just be waiting on it and see which way it breaks. Exterion Corporation. This guy looks like it's pretty low. You got the volume kicking in, and it's very well down there. Would I jump in front of it? Maybe. I would be slow with my investment, and I'd do some fundamental analysis on it. I haven't really looked at this one. I'm just doing the charting to see what's out there. Valaris is a really good one. This is a drilling company, deep, kind of a seawater drilling, and it's looking okay. Tidewater's looking good. What I've got on Tidewater is a inverted head and shoulders. Usually that's a good spot to be looking, is on the shoulder of it. So that one looks good. NEX, Next Tier Oilfield Solutions, looks like it's trying to make a move on its downtrend line. So that might be one to look into. NEX. CHX, you can see the shoulder, head, shoulder. That might be one to look into as well. I don't know what this one is. I'm not going to go into that one. OII, on another shoulder, head, shoulder type pattern. If you zoom way out, we've got a channel that broke to the downside. The C19 sell-off, and it's come back up, and it's kind of just hanging out there. Noble Energy is a company that I would look into for drilling. It went through bankruptcy. I would look at this here. This is one that I do own. And then the Helix Energy Solutions. Let me back out here. It's in this descending wedge still. It's gonna take some time. It's gonna, it could even be a couple years before this thing moves higher. So that's the energy service companies, guys. I just wanted to hit on some of those since I think there's some good value there if you want to start looking. Is it going to return as well as the exploration companies? I don't know. Probably, I would say not. Definitely not in the beginning, but maybe towards the end, I think they might go crazy. And if oil prices go crazy, these may just rocket. So we'll see what happens. If you guys like this analysis, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.